Hello, everyone. This is Howard Fox, and welcome back for another episode of the Outdoor Adventure Series, the podcast that celebrates individuals and families, businesses, and organizations that seek out and promote the exploration, stewardship, conservation, access, and enjoyment of the outdoors. Today, I have the pleasure of having two guests join me. I have Lara Danzl. She is the Environmental Education Supervisor for the Vermilion County Conservation District. And I have Tim Edison. He is the Site Superintendent for the Kickapoo State Recreation Area and Middleport State Fish and Wildlife Area. Tim and Lara, it's a pleasure to have you on the podcast. Welcome.
Great to be here.
Thank you. Yes.
Fantastic. Now, I also want to give a quick shout out to Tracey Fentem. She's the Sales and Event Manager for the Danville Area Visitors Bureau. And we originally had reached out to the destinations really throughout the U.S., but definitely within Illinois and states all around. And Tracey said, Danville's perfect area. It's wonderful, but I really want you guys to get to know the outdoor adventure and experiences that are available. And she said, well, gotta introduce you to Lara and Tim. And so again, here you are. And I'm very grateful that you're on site or on the show with us today. What I would love to do is just for you to talk a little bit about each of your jobs and what your roles and responsibilities are. And also kind of a little bit about some of the challenges and opportunities that currently exists. There's a lot going on in the country, but what exists today and how you're keeping this wonderful area of Illinois pristine and conserving it, but also making it accessible. So those are kind of some of the themes I know my listeners would be interested in. And I am going to do a gotcha for you guys. I'm going to ask you to navigate your website. So I know, Lara, you're a podcast pro, and it's not your first rodeo. Tim, I know you've got this, and by the way, Tim, I'm going to ask you to kind of describe the wildlife behind you. For our listeners, Tim has a very decorative room. It's not just plaques on the wall and photos. So we're going to see a little bit about that, especially when you see the video. So Lara, let me start with you. Tell us a little bit about your role as an environmental education supervisor.
So I feel incredibly privileged to work for the Vermilion County Conservation District. I've been here 26 years, so I'm totally dedicated and invested into my role that I have here. And I get to basically educate and connect people to nature, to our natural world, help them get excited about it. The more you know, the more you care about our natural worlds. And we get to do that with people of all ages. I do everything from like preschool all the way to adult programs, hikes, whatever it may be, just to showcase our natural world that we have here in Vermilion County.
Okay. Now, for our listeners, I grew up in Michigan, so I'm used to pointing to my hand. This is where I grew up, on the thumb, right, southeast Michigan. But where is Vermilion County in Illinois?
We're basically just a couple counties. I think there's like 3 counties south of Chicago.
Okay.
So we're definitely East Central Illinois. Our one border is the Indiana-Illinois state line. And then on the other side of us, we have Champaign County. So we're not too far away from Champaign, Illinois, right next door, East Central Illinois.
Okay. Now, if I was going to be coming to Vermilion County and seeing the parks and the recreation experiences that are available, what's the best way to get there?
I'd say Interstate 74.
Okay.
That's the major interstate that we have going right through the middle of Vermilion County.
Okay. And again, not to put you on the spot, but if I was going to go in a direction of this interstate, where would I end up in either direction?
74 takes you to like Peoria, Illinois, if
Okay.
you're heading towards the west. But if you're heading east, it takes you to like Indianapolis, Indiana.
Okay. Now I can picture that. Very good. Okay.
Mhm.
Lots to talk about in terms of education, but let's hear from Tim. Tim, tell us a little bit about your role as site superintendent and Kickapoo State Recreation Area.
Well, I have a super, super fun job sometimes.
Sometimes.
It's overseeing many of the parks, at least the state parks in Vermilion. So I have Middleport Fish and Wildlife Area, which is about a 3,000 acre park where fishing, hunting, horseback riding are some of our most popular activities. And then just south of there, I have Kickapoo, which is a state recreation area. It's a very busy park where we see about 1.3 million people a year with various activities. We do have Middleport, the Vermilion River, which is a state and federal scenic river, which a lot of that is on the property of both these parks, and canoeing, tubing. We have disc golf, mountain biking, hiking, and a whole bunch of camping, and just a lot of outdoor activities that we do. And I sort of oversee a lot of that and try to keep it organized and keep it up and fun and safe.
Okay. Now, question for me is in this East Central Illinois, where, and you talked about over a million visitors a year, where are visitors coming from? And how long do they typically spend in this area? And how do they spend the time in the area? Is it hotels? Is it camping? Is this like a long day trip from, say, Chicago or Indianapolis? What's it like? Lara, why don't you start?
Well, and if anybody is wanting any kind of an outdoor recreational opportunity getaway, Vermilion County is the place to go. I mean, you are able to do just about anything in our county when it comes to outdoor recreation. Besides like downhill skiing, we don't have the hills of Wisconsin or anything like that here. But I would say that there's a lot of people that come here destination wise camping. It's a very special and unique county because the topography that we have here with our river systems, the Middle Fork, Salt Fork, North Fork forming the Vermilion River, it's created all this erosion and ravine systems where cornfields and soybean fields are not developed. So there's so much forested habitat, aquatic activities with the Lake Vermilion, Heron County Park, Forest Glen, Kennecock, and then we'll hopefully we'll get a chance to also touch on the Kickapoo Rail Trail. So I
Mhm.
think people come here when it comes to the park systems, definitely for overnight weekend camping, getaways. Of course, Danville, Vermilion County has so much more to even offer besides the outdoor recreation. But with us, we focus on that outdoor part. But yeah, like Tim said, canoeing, tubing, uh, hiking, if we have snow long enough, you can even do cross country skiing, mountain bike trails. I mean, we've got it all here in Vermilion County for people to come and enjoy.
Okay. Now, Tim, when you mentioned the number of visitors coming in and the variety of activities, how has this evolved over the years? And before you answer that question, I mean, Lara mentioned she's been 26 years in her profession working in this county. But how does in a state recreation, so this is state funded, and how has the variety of offerings and really keeping the land as pristine as possible and protecting it, yet providing a lot of outdoor activities? How has this evolved over the years within the recreation area?
Well, I guess I've been here since 2017. I came from Southern Illinois where I worked with coal mines. And then upon getting here is sort of figuring out the world I live in now.
Mhm.
We have great volunteers. That's probably one of our most treasured assets is the people here. The
Mhm.
people really help take care of what we have, and I'm super, super appreciative for that. But we definitely have seen an uptick. We've seen an uptick in our mountain bike use. Our disc golf is extremely popular, and where we're seeing more and more people there coming from out of state. Same with the mountain bike. We see people from Michigan, Wisconsin. The mountain bike, Kickapoo Mountain Bike Club does a good job in maintaining the trails and working with us very closely. The disc golf club, the disc golf's a little bit new here. We're just putting in a real nice 18-hole course. So we're working with Champaign County and Vermilion County disc golf clubs to help get that up and going. So we have a lot of help from the people. As busy as it is, we love our volunteers, and that's what keeps this place great.
Okay. Now, when you came into this role back in 2017, had you always been, is this profession, being a superintendent at whether it's local or county, state level recreation areas, wildlife areas. Has this been a part of your kind of career progression?
I actually started out as a biologist. So I got my bachelor's degree from the University of Illinois in agriculture, and then I had my master's in animal science. And I worked as an ecologist at University of Illinois for a while. I worked as a private lands biologist for U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service for a while in Missouri, and I've just ended up here.
All right, I love it. Lara, how did you end up in environmental education?
I consider myself a huge nature nerd. Oof.
Okay.
I definitely wanted to have a career where I got to spend time outside. I do not like dressing up and being behind a desk all day
I
long.
love.
So,
I knew I liked you. I knew. My goal is to be like you. Is be able
yeah,
to do all this outside.
yeah. So, I mean, there's no greater joy of having a classroom full of school kids out here that've never really been hiking through a forest, and we find a snake, just like a little, even like a ringneck snake, a small snake, and a child holds a snake for the first time, and that joy and like, oh my gosh, amazement and connection that you get to make with kids is just, it's just amazing.
Okay.
So.
Is there a kind of a day in the life? Is it pretty standard? Is it change from one day to the next? Maybe describe a couple days for you. And Tim, I'm going to ask you to do that as well in a second. But Lara, how would you describe a typical day for you?
So the conservation district, we're county level, so we're funded through county tax money is
Okay.
how we're funded, and we only have 11 full-time staff that manage over 6,000 acres between 5 different park properties. So everybody here has to wear multiple hats, which I love. One day I could be designing an exhibit, the next day working with preschool kids, the next day I'm going to be cutting trees off a trail, cleaning the bathroom facilities that we have here at the park, to doing a summer camp and running a summer camp program, to giving presentations in a classroom with school kids. So definitely we all have ever evolving, changing jobs. And sometimes I even get to help with like the maple sap collecting down at Forest Glen because we make our own maple syrup down there. Or I
Nice.
get to help with like a prairie burn with the guys that are doing when they're doing their restoration land work. I get to help with the prairie burn or something like that. So it's an amazing, wonderful career to be able to get to help and be involved with all those different aspects for sure.
Okay. Now, when you're involved with the education, are your students, are they coming strictly from the county, or are they coming from outside the county as well?
Both. Yeah, we have 100% participation with our in-county schools that come out here for field trips between our two largest parks, Kennecott and Forest Glen. But we also get schools from Indiana, Iroquois County to the north. We get Edgar County students from the south. We get Champaign County students. Yeah, we're busy with our
Okay.
school program.
Okay. And would you say that this destination within the county, and all that it has to offer, is this a four season opportunity for folks to come in and learn, experience?
I I think so because every season there's something different to see. Every season when you hike a trail, it looks different. Different wildlife, different plant species. Everything from like if it gets cold enough, we can have ice fishing on our lakes and ponds to cross country skiing. And then when the summertime, you've got the biking, running, hiking, fishing. We even have people come out here and go mushroom hunting in the spring and the fall as well.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, there's just opportunities all year round for sure.
Okay. Now I've heard those mushroom hunters can get very territorial. They find a little tree and it's got the wonderful mushrooms there and they like scare everybody else out. I've heard about them.
Top
Just
secret,
perhaps rumors. Top
top,
secret. All
top
right.
secret spots.
Excellent. So Tim, what's a typical day for a site superintendent in this state recreation area in the wildlife area?
There is no typical day. I'll come in with plans, what I want to do, and probably 50 to 75% of the time plans will change. It's it could be sitting on a tractor some days, it could be dealing with a water line break other days. It could be helping somebody out camping. It could be looking for someone that gets lost. It could be removing a tree from a trail. There's just an amazing amount of things to do. We sort of operate over here like we're our own little city. So we deal with everything. We help everyone that we can. We try to educate everyone we can. There is no typical day, believe it or not.
Okay. Okay. Now I have to ask because it's hard to miss Tim, but you've got some guests in the room with you. They're not doing or saying very much, but they're very noticeable. So, well, Lara has one as well, which I'll ask her on the next go around. But what are we looking at behind you there, Tim?
Those are the things that keep me grounded. It's when we deal with park management, we manage for people, we also manage for wildlife. And this is sort of my passion outside of work is the fishing and hunting. And this is
Mhm.
sort of my reminder that the things that I do at work sort of affect the world around us. So we're trying to manage for quality habitat in terms of what is the land type association that we have. How can we manage it the best? How do we get rid of invasive species? What are our natural processes, prescribed fire? To be able to have these here sometimes really helps out because sometimes you'll just get frustrated with a long day and you look at it and it's like, well, this is why I'm doing this. This is part of why I love what I do in my job is these little critters here. And then there's also the people aspect, which that also goes into, and that's just pictures of a kid and doing all the fun things and people out here at the park, whether it's cross country or disc golf or mountain bike. I mean, that's sort of, sometimes you just need those reminders to keep you going, keep you energized.
I love it. Now, I'm sure your kids love when it's bring your parents to work day and you get to or take your class to where your parents work and let them check out what y'all do. I bet you that's a lot of fun.
Yep.
All right. So, Laura, I want to provide equal time here. You've got a little feathered friend, I think, behind you in your corner. What are we looking at there?
That is a bird of prey known as an osprey.
Oh yeah,
They rival almost like bald eagle size, love to eat fish, and yeah, we frequently get to see them here in Vermilion County at our lakes.
very nice, very nice. Now, uh, I would imagine too, in addition to the trails and the disc golf. And by the way, I learned how to play disc golf last year, so I'm always up for a nice disc golf game. Is there I'd imagine there's a lot of, opportunities for fishing and birding as well. I love going out into this forest and, here in Las Vegas in the desert and just looking for birds, taking photos, and you a lot of folks coming out here just whether it's for fishing or birding as well? So, I imagine it's for both of you guys in both
Yeah,
of your areas.
absolutely. We have a
Okay.
local Audubon chapter, the Middleport Audubon Society, that they'll do programs, guided hikes for people to get more connected to learn about the birds that we have here. And yeah, it's almost spring migration time where a lot of our southern feathered flyers are starting to make their way back up into Illinois as they head more north for their breeding grounds. And like white pelicans, we had white pelicans just a few days ago. They might still be there at Lake Vermilion. It's one of their stopover spots that they head north and south on their migration route. I mean, who would think that you could see white pelicans in the Midwest? And they're right here.
That's very cool. I love it. I love it. Well, listen, I have a request for both of you. I'd love for you to kind of navigate your websites so you can kind of show our listeners a little bit what is in store for them if they decide to put Vermilion County and the state recreation areas in their vacation plans. If you're okay with navigating it, I'll share my screen. I am going to, by the way, only because it is Tracey set this up. I'm going to do a quick overview of the Welcome to Danville site. I would be remiss if I didn't do that. But let me go ahead and bring it up. Okay, so you have to tell me here. You should be able to see the web page.
Yep.
Okay. And by the way, if I only do this while I'm here, now I'm going to the Vermilion County. Can you see your web page?
I sure can. Yeah.
All right, then of course, Kickapoo State Recreation Area. All right. So for our listeners, if you'd like to learn more about East Central Illinois and the whole Danville area. Our friends Tracey Fentem from the Danville Area Visitors Bureau helped to arrange today's episode. So go out and visit their website at visitdanvillearea.com. There's a lot of guides here, visitor guides, trail guides, including the Kickapoo Rail Trail, which I'm very excited about. There's a event tab here. There's community activities as well. Looks like you've got a lot of nice navigation here. There's arts. There's a variety of attractions. And who knew this is the gateway to Lincoln? All right, both some lodging, variety of cuisines. I'm a food guy, by the way, so I'm not having Tracey here. I'm going to have to guess there's some really good food in the area, and I'm a coffee guy too. But by the way, when I go camping, I like a nice coffee in the morning. It was nice and quiet, and all you hear is birds. But yeah, so go out and visit the Visit Danville Area website and definitely check out what Danville has to offer. Now, I am going to go to Vermilion County, so we should be seeing that now. We got the logo, Vermilion County Conservation District. Lara, take us for a test drive here. Where are we going to go?
Sure. So if you scroll down,
Okay.
you will see our main 4 park properties that we have of Forest Glen, Kennecott, Lake Vermilion, and Heron County Park. So if you click on any one of those, you can get park maps, trail maps, just any kind of information that you need about each specific park. Forest Glen, we've got an 11-mile backpack trail there that people love to register for and hike. A lot of people use that trail almost like a training before they go hike portions of the Appalachia Trail.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And Forest Glen has camping. But then if you also click on those little 3 lines on the top there, you can get even more specific information about the conservation district.
This line right here?
Yeah, because another park that we would be remiss to not talk about is the Kickapoo Rail Trail.
Right.
So if you scroll down on that menu,
so I'm going to go to this menu.
And then scroll down, you'll eventually see the Kickapoo Rail Trail.
Let's go there.
Yeah,
More
Kickapoo
miles.
Rail Trail, it's actually owned by 3 different entities. It's going to be 26.5 miles once it's all completed. So portions of it here in Vermilion County are owned by the Conservation District and Department of Natural Resources. So Tim and I both help maintain and take care of that trail with our staff that we have here at our parks. And then it's also owned by the Champaign County Forest Preserve District over in Champaign County. But there is a trestle bridge that goes over that Middleport River. The trestle bridge is 90 feet above the Middleport River, and it's a 1/4 mile long bridge that it's an amazing to hike, bike, run across that bridge to check it out. And there's even a bald eagle nest that you can see from the rail trail bridge.
Okay. Now, is there a photo of that we can see?
There was one on the Danville, Illinois website. So if you go back to Tracey's website, they did have one that was scrolling across.
Okay, so let's see.
They had one of them that was panning across that top bar up there with the Danville. Welcome to Danville. I did see it.
Okay.
Maybe so you hit like, there's like, looks like there might be a second photo. I don't know if you can click on the left side or the right side right there.
Or you might be able to refresh it.
Yeah, let's go do a refresh. See, we're making this. There we go. We're making this up as we go along. Oh, look at that.
So if you're coming to Vermilion County, a walk across or a ride across that trestle bridge would be amazing.
That would be very cool. I love it. And I love the fact that you've got the green space, you've got the water space. And I did an episode not too long ago where it was with Gwinnett County in Georgia, and the Chattahoochee River is in this county, and they have this tubing adventure. It's called Shoot the Hooch. All right. I thought that was kind of cute. Is there any type of activity going on out on the river? Is it this could be just a kayaking or canoeing? What kind of activity is actually on the rivers?
I'll let Tim answer that one since he has the concession at Kickapoo.
All right, Tim, you're on.
Yeah, so we have a Kickapoo concession, and they offer canoe trips, kayak trips, and also
There we
tubes
go.
on the river, which was really cool. With it being a scenic river, people don't realize how pretty this river actually is. People think, oh, you're in central Illinois, it's flat and there's cornfields. It is it is an amazing, a breathtaking trip. So if you haven't seen the river, it's definitely worthwhile to take a 10 to 12 mile canoe trip down it because
Oh, that's very good.
it's
Now,
beautiful.
I never would have thought you'd have scuba diving, but okay, I'm up for that. Oh, I think that'd be kind of cool. 12, you've got the launch ramps. Excellent. So while we're on the website, where else should we go here, Tim?
So Kickapoo is extremely busy. Kickapoo is
Mhm.
just one of my 6 different areas. So I have Kickapoo, Middleport Fish and Wildlife Area, Harry Babe, Woodyard. Kickapoo is the biggest. And if you
Mhm.
look at the left-hand side of the webpage, you will see a bunch of different recreational opportunities. The mountain biking and the disc golf are extremely popular.
Okay.
I think if you go down, you can actually click on. So the concessions has a link to Kickapoo Adventures, but also the mountain biking has a link to the mountain bike trails and a map there.
Okay. Let's see if we
So
can. There's the concession. Okay. Here's the trail map.
they're multi-use trails for hiking and mountain biking, and there's about 22 miles that we have right
Okay.
now.
All right. Let's see if we can open that up a little bit. Okay. All right. Here we go. So are these a variety of, if you have a novice bikers, people that are not really used to the heavy outdoor mountain biking, or is it
Yeah.
like, it's kind of like the skiing, we have the greens, the blues, and the blacks, double black diamonds.
Certain trails are easier and certain trails are harder than others. I think they have a pretty good narrative of what experience level is probably desired on some of these. Trail one is a really nice, easy trail, but as you get up to like heaven and hell is a very challenging trail.
Okay. Wow. Very cool. I don't know why my little AI thing is here. It's annoying me. Hide for this document. Thank you. All right. So you got the main trail. Very nice. Well, I tell you, I really feel bad for me because living in Illinois for as long as I did up in Chicago and never took a 2 hour drive south. Now I know what I was missing here. This is
Well,
great.
out of all the counties in Illinois, Vermilion County has the most public land per
Hmm.
capita in the state
Yeah,
of Illinois. So, yeah, I think that's a pretty cool, amazing fact between the state properties, the county properties. Even Danville has some small parks within their town, but having the most public land per capita in Illinois is a pretty special thing for Vermilion County.
very nice. Very nice. Well, I think, I mean, I can see why you two are very passionate about these recreational areas and all that it has to offer and the education opportunity. Tim, before we head back, is there any place else you'd like us to perhaps visit on the department's website?
If you want to take a look at the disc golf real quick, as we're developing that,
Okay.
it's pretty neat. The 18 hole, it's still in development, but it's getting pretty close. But if you click at the little map there, it'll give you an idea. And
Okay.
honestly, there's so much stuff to do here, and that's one of the things that I really like about it. So if you're a parent, you want to bring your kid out, you want to make memories. I mean, the parks that we have here are absolutely phenomenal to make memories for kids and something to
Okay.
carry on with them and to their future and appreciate the outdoors.
Oh, very cool. Yeah. I mean, just look at all the water here. I mean, just that's what to me is amazing, is there's so many opportunities to not only enjoy the land-based activities but water-based activities, and now you've got the disc golf. It looks like it's going to be a fantastic course here, and pretty soon you'll be having championship disc golf tournaments up here.
That is actually one of the goals that we're talking about with Illinois right now, where they would have their Big Ten championships out here once we get this developed. So
Excellent.
that's a goal, and we'll see if we can get everything
Sounds good.
to
Sounds
work
good.
out.
All right. Lara, any place else on your site that you'd like to take us to?
So over there underneath volunteers, there's a conservationist. If you scroll down, oh, nope, in that same menu,
Oh, okay.
if you scroll down, you'll see underneath volunteers, you'll see where we says conservationist. So
Yeah.
we do newsletters, and we have electronic newsletters plus printed newsletters that if anybody is wanting to find out anything about what we're offering out here at the Conservation District, that's an excellent way to stay in touch with us, looking at
Okay.
all those newsletters that we have there.
Well, let's check out the spring 2025 Nature at Night. So I imagine you're also I'm very much aware here in Las Vegas of some of the dark sky initiatives. Las Vegas can be, you can't miss it at night,
Yeah.
but there are communities or out in the desert where they're very much concerned about keeping the dark skies as dark as possible. And it sounds like this is a nice dark sky area as well.
We definitely have some dark skies here. We're not a certified dark sky park, but it would be something that is on our bucket list maybe to accomplish sometime in the future. But we do have sometimes astronomy programs out here where we do talk about the light pollution and what people can do just even at their own homes to help
Mhm.
cut down on light trespassing and things that they might have with their neighbors in neighborhoods and things like that.
Okay, excellent. Are you allowed to have an Ohio Buckeye? I don't know. A little competition there.
Yeah, we definitely have those growing here naturally, although sometimes I wonder
Okay.
how
So
tough of a mascot that is.
okay, okay. So I am going to stop sharing my screen unless there's anything else that you'd like to draw attention to, either of you on your sites. You're good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let me stop sharing and we should be back, the three of us. And so I am curious, when you think about your work and what you get to do, is there some aspect of your job it's like, oh wow, I get to do this? And what would that be for you, Lara?
Every day.
Every
Uh,
day?
I remember I one time had somebody tell me that after she attended our outdoor school program, she went home and pretended like she had a group of school kids walking around with her in her backyard. And she was pointing out different trees and different plants in her backyard, like she experienced with me on the field trip during the day. And there's people that say, I've chosen my path in the natural resource field because of the summer camp programs and the school programs that are offered here at the Conservation District.
Mhm.
I truly believe that people will not care about something unless they understand it. If
Right.
they understand it, if they know it, if they feel connected to it, they're going to take more ownership and find more value with it. And part of the goal that we have here at the Conservation District, not only providing recreational opportunities, it's making responsible land stewards,
Mhm.
making people become responsible stewards for our environment for the future as well.
Excellent. And how about you, Tim? What would be your aha moment?
Oh, that's a tough one. My big pictures, I'm sort of a perfectionist at times, so I always look at this world here as there's so much stuff to do.
Mhm.
And I want to get so many different things done before I retire and however many years it's going to be and want to get everything perfect. And it's an unrealistic goal. And I think at the end of the day, it's like, to me, it's really cool when you see all the kids out here making memories. That's probably, at least to me, one of my coolest moments, and to be able to provide so many different, that means different opportunities for kids to come out and see and learn, because ultimately they're going to be the ones that are taking over what we're doing right now. And it has to be important for them, for parks like we all have here, to continue and to keep them as nice as what they are.
Very good. I love that. Lara, if you had to leave our listeners with a quote, a book, some sentiment to the work that you're doing and the passion you have, and why people need to care about conservation and protecting it and then and protecting our resources. What would you like to share with our listeners?
So I mean, there's all so many quotes out there, Rachel Carson and Thoreau and just tons of them. Even Richard Louv has amazing quotes. But the other takeaway that I think people sometimes forget about our outdoor world is not only is it a place for the recreational opportunities for your health benefits, but it's also great for your mental health as well.
Hmm.
Sitting outside and just looking at green space, feeling the wind on your face, hearing the different bird calls, the shades of blue with the sky. It calms your anxiety, lowers stress levels, and can definitely improve your mental health to just spend passive, quiet relaxation time outdoors as well. And I think sometimes with our hurried, frantic, technology connected world, we sometimes forget that. And I think that's another great reminder of what our outdoor spaces can provide people as well.
I love that. What you just shared, I look at it, Lara, as a gift because it's a growing awareness of mine in some of the episodes I am producing is the connection between nature and mental health. And
Exactly.
we have to get out there, just experience it, just slowing down
Mhm.
and putting your feet in the sand and the water on the grass and just taking it all in. It's a great way to start the day. But you guys have great opportunities to start your day. I'm a big coffee drinker, so I love the quiet of the morning, just hearing the birds, a cup of coffee, and it's a great way to get started. And the connection to mental health, you're spot on there. So thank you for that gift. Tim, what would be your this aha for you and in your insight that you'd like to leave with our listeners?
Well, I mean, we're a state funded park. The people pay for this. So everyone that, pays taxes, this is yours. So to me, it's important to take care of it. And everyone needs to realize that this is something that we all have. If you live in Illinois, or even if you live outside of Illinois, that this is yours. Come enjoy it. It's an amazing, amazing place. And you're missing out if you're not here.
I love it. And again, I have to share, after living in Chicago for so long, I'm like, there's so many places I want to visit now, including Vermilion County and your recreation areas, wildlife areas. And it's just like, wow, if I can't turn the clock back, but I can certainly make a dent in the opportunities that folks like you are sharing. So thank you both for being on the show. I hope you enjoyed the podcast experience and being able to share about and share the passion, not only the knowledge of what you do, but also the passion for what you do. So thank you both for joining me today on the Outdoor Adventure Series.
Yeah. If you do come to town, you'll definitely have to make a stop at Mad Goat Coffee. It's awesome, amazing coffee, locally brewed here in Vermilion County.
I am like all over that. So I need to talk to Tracey. Like, Tracey, why don't you have me come out here? Let me interview you guys in person and the businesses. And that's the goal. That was the goal. So you just have to go back to Tracey and how great experience this was. Now, before we do head out, just a quick question. Lara, if our listeners would like to learn more about your work for Vermilion County Conservation, what's your website and also any social sites that you would like our listeners to visit?
Sure. Our website is vermillioncountyconservationdistrict.org. We also have a Facebook page, Instagram, and YouTube, where we post environmental content plus program content.
Very good. Well, we'll provide those backlinks. And Tim, how about you?
Really, what people can do is search for dnr.illinois.gov. It'll put you on the DNR's website, and you can look at all the different parks that we have in the state of Illinois. I mean, Kickapoo is my favorite place just because I work here, but we
Right.
have some amazing parks throughout the state, and that's a great resource to just click on and look at the different parks, and they have contact information on all these parks if you want to contact one individually.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, thank you for sharing that. Lara, Tim, again, thank you for joining me on the podcast. I hope you enjoyed the experience and really, again, it goes without saying, I need to come pay a visit and hopefully see you guys in person someday, perhaps over a cup of coffee. Who knows? The last time I was on a kayak, I literally tipped over in 6 inches of water. So I don't know about, but I gotta lean into my my apprehension. But again, thank you for your time. Listen, we're going to do a quick close, but stay on the line and we can have a final chat afterwards. Okay.
Thank you much.
All right. Okay, folks, we have just been chatting with Lara Danzl and Tim Edison. Now, Lara is the Environmental Education Supervisor for the Vermilion County Conservation District, and Tim is the Site Superintendent for the Kickapoo State Recreation Area and Middle Fork State Fish and Wildlife Area. I literally did not know this existed when I lived in Illinois. I mean, how bad is that? And so this is a shout out to anybody who lives in a big city like Chicago. Find out the state parks and county parks that are in your area and go visit them. And as Lara had shared, there is a connection between our mental health and wellness and nature. So go find a park somewhere, put your feet in the water, on the sand, or walk in barefoot in grass, but take advantage of these resources that our states and counties have for us. They're taking care of it for us. They're helping with the stewardship, and really a big shout out to all the volunteers at the state and county sites who are helping really to kind of protect and conserve this precious resource that we have. Now, we're going to provide all the backlinks to the websites on our show notes. Well, I'm also going to entice Lara and Tim to share some photos with us so we can create some collages for our banners, and also a couple collages for our show notes. Now, as for this episode, you can find it on our website, outdooradventureseries.com. We also have our LinkedIn and Facebook pages. Just search for Outdoor Adventure Series. And the video of this episode will also be up on YouTube, and you'll be able to see the video of us kind of navigating the Danville website for their visitor bureau, but also we had a chance to visit the Kickapoo State Recreation Area, the state site, that and the various navigational aids there, including a lot of the site maps. And Lara took us on a little tour of the Vermilion County Conservation District's map. So all of that will be up on our YouTube channel. And of course, you can listen to this episode wherever you get your podcast from. Until next time, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, go out there and have a phenomenal day. And we look forward to having you join us on a future episode of the Outdoor Adventure Series podcast. Take care now.